Hello, hello, hello. Greetings. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. We have made it to Tuesday, February the 10th, 2026. A mere 37 more days of winter, and then we can welcome in spring. And this is going to be the first spring in a long time when I'm going to be jumping for joy. Last night, I thought, gosh, it's warm. I looked at the temperature and it said 21 degrees Fahrenheit, which is still 11 degrees below freezing, and I thought that was warm. So that should put things in context for people who are living in decidedly warmer places right now. It has been brutal and unrelenting, pretty much. So much so that I have found it has affected my mood and productivity. I was getting to the point where just, you know, our unit here, our condominium unit in this building, the building is not very well insulated. It's got these big windows. They're not double paned. They're not, you know, you can feel cold air coming in. So it's not very efficient. And somewhere below 20 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe when you get down to 15 or 10, I would say closer to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So you're, 20 degrees below freezing. It just, the heating system just doesn't do the job. It does not keep the place warm enough. And so, we purchased a little space radiator heater, and that has helped tremendously. But boy, it kind of reminds me of some of the Japan houses in northern Japan, and other places in Japan where there's no insulation in the walls, and you just kind of stay huddled up in the main room with a space heater and a kotatsu, which is essentially a heated table. It's got a big blanket over it, and you keep yourself warm in a localized fashion, which I suppose is efficient in a sense, more efficient than heating an entire giant house, but you do feel pretty restricted. So I can smell spring, and it's exciting. So I'm happy. All right, that's enough. That's like 2 minutes on this thing. And I know it's irritating. Also, I have to acknowledge that no, I did not record yesterday. It just got away from me. I don't have many excuses other than yesterday I was extraordinarily exhausted. And I worked, I put in a full day and all of that, but I just mentally just kind of was spent, and who knows why? I don't know. Got a lot on my mind, don't we all? But I definitely felt like I just ran out of gas at night. I just completely ran out of gas. In the morning, I had too many activities, too many meetings going on, and I just couldn't get to it. By the time I got to it, it was like the afternoon, and it was the morning vibes, the morning thought, the morning mindset gone. Today, what do we have going on? Well, it's another week really needing to focus on business development. And I think that's one of the things in this new venture that I'm paying very close attention to as I look back on past ventures and things and what went right and what went wrong. This is a precarious time. A couple months in, got a few clients, and started by, offering some free services. And then I've offered some discounted services, deeply discounted services, which is great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Now I'm moving into no, we need to charge real prices for real services because, that's not sustainable to do, pilot stuff. And I've got, a few of those, or one at least. And it's more than one and not a few. It's, but, it is rapid. I mean, we're talking in a matter of weeks. We've got more opportunities coming, and some good meetings this week. But I think what's really on my mind about this is the precarious time when, you'll have a day where you get a victory, you close a deal, you get a new prospective deal, and it feels like, okay, everything's going great. And then it doesn't take very long for you to feel like everything's not going great if it isn't moving. And the danger is, without discipline and accountability and clarity, it can be easy to chase other bright, shiny objects. So let me give you an example. Well, nothing's going on here, so let's make an event. Let's put together an event. Now, the event could end up costing a lot of time and mind share for a result, a benefit that may not ultimately work. It may be a benefit that is too attenuated, meaning, you put together some kind of training thing and then now pretty soon you're like, okay, how am I positioning the training? Who am I sending this to? There might be expenses for renting out the space if it's an in-person thing. So out of frustration of, okay, I'm not getting the speed or velocity over here. And I think somebody said yesterday, I thought this was really useful, because I brought up this issue and I'm very aware of it. It's not like I'm blind to the issue, but that doesn't mean I'm not vulnerable to it. So somebody I know said, focus on the core function of the business that is scalable. Now, the core function, I could lawyer my way around, right? I can let my mind go, well, that's a core function. That's a core function. Today I decide that's part of the core function. It's easy to bleed off into to end up way off the rails on that. But, but then when I add on that is scalable, that's the critical language, because I can say that making a peanut butter sandwich is somehow related to the core function of the business, but is it scalable? That's a different standard. And I think that goes right back to what is that one thing that you do that's repeatable, you can charge money for, that's the highest value. And that is where the sales activity needs to be. Instead of, let's do another event, let's, yada, yada, yada. Something to think about. So whatever that is for you, I don't know, whether you're scaling a business or not, maintaining clarity about your purpose and finding that right balance between exploring on one hand, but also knowing when you need very disciplined, concentrated approach to get to a new place, not just to get something done, to get to a new place where the world is different now because you've laid the foundation. And that's really, I think, what I think a lot of people enjoy about starting businesses is figuring all of that out. There's a certain joy in it. It's like when you played Legos and you imagined something and then you built it. I think that's not that dissimilar. I want to build a village. You're still exploring, but you have a finite number of pieces that you're working with. And, you might build something and that didn't work. You tear that piece down and rebuild it. And now you've got this thing you can look at. That's kind of like what building a business in some ways emotionally can feel like. And I think that's why it's satisfying. But it's really important to stay on target. And having clarity in your own mind and then accountability with other people seem to be two very, very big pieces to this. It's certainly been my experience over the years, and I think it's a common issue. I hope that's helpful to you. Good to be back, and wherever you are, I hope you're having a meaningful end of this winter, or I suppose summer if you're in Australia. But anyway, I'm looking forward to checking back again tomorrow. In the meantime, of course, as always, be good to yourself and others. Thanks as always for listening. Bye-bye for now.